Welcome to this explainer. Okay, let's just dive right in, shall we? Today we are tackling a universal frustration, one that has probably caused you a headache or two at the office. We're going to transform the total nightmare of messy Excel printouts into a quick, empowering, and super professional process. Honestly, by the end of this, you'll be printing with absolute confidence.
So why do perfect spreadsheets print so poorly? It's a painful, shared experience, right? You know the drill. Your sheet looks absolutely flawless on your screen. Everything's neat. The columns align, the colors pop. But then you hit print, and what comes out is just a complete mess. Half your columns are literally cut off. A single row wanders onto page 4. It's just chaos. Well, today, we're putting an end to that. We're going to look at how to print Excel sheets like a pro using some very specific page setup tools.
Here's our quick roadmap for this explainer. We'll be hitting accessing print settings, setting the print area, changing page orientation, adjusting margins and scaling, adding headers and footers, and wrapping up with a summary of Excel basics. Let's get to it.
Section 1. Accessing print settings. First steps to control. Okay, so our absolute first line of defense is the preview. Before you ever commit precious ink to paper, you've got to open your print settings to see exactly what you're dealing with. And you have two really effective ways to get there. First up, the snappy shortcut method. Just hit Ctrl+P on your keyboard, boom, you're there. Or you can use the standard menu method. Just head up to File and click Print. Both ways take you to the exact same place. It's basically your staging ground, where you survey the potential damage and fix it before you actually print. Section 2. Setting the print area. Wrangle the data.
You know, sometimes you have this massive spreadsheet, but you really only need to print a tiny part of it, like maybe just a quick summary table for your afternoon meeting. Well, you need to wrangle that data. Excel actually lets you isolate exact sections so it prints only what you highlight and absolutely nothing else. Here's how you do it in 4 easy steps. Step 1, grab your mouse and just highlight the exact cells you want on paper. Step 2, head up to the Page Layout tab in your ribbon. Step 3, click the button that says Print Area. And Step 4, hit Set Print Area from that dropdown. And just like that, Excel completely ignores the rest of your sprawling sheet.
Moving into Section 3, change page orientation, targeting, and aligning. Our next critical tool lives right under that same Page Layout tab. Excel gives you 2 distinct orientations for your paper. First, there's Portrait, which is your standard vertical layout. This is fantastic for long lists that run deep down your rows. Then we have Landscape, which flips it to horizontal. And here's a great practical tip straight from our source material. Large tables usually fit so much better in landscape mode. Think about it. Spreadsheets naturally grow to the right as you add columns, so flipping to landscape is often an instant fix for those annoying columns that keep getting chopped off. Just go to Page Layout, click Orientation, and test them out to see what fits your data best. Section 4. Adjust margins and scaling, squeezing it in. All right, let's slow down for just a second because this is where the real magic happens for forcing everything onto the right number of pages. First up, margins. By definition, margins are just the adjustable space around the edges of your pages. So if you go back to that Page Layout tab and click Margins, you get to dictate how much breathing room your data gets before it hits the edge of the paper. Honestly, if your data is just barely spilling onto a second page, sometimes simply making those margins a bit narrower frees up just enough room to perfectly contain the whole thing on one sheet. But hey, what if adjusting the margins just doesn't quite cut it? That brings us to scaling. I'm telling you, scaling is an absolute lifesaver. It's a tool designed explicitly to fit your data onto one page. For example, in your scaling settings, you can literally just click an option called Fit Sheet on one page. When you do that, Excel just does all the heavy lifting for you. It mathematically shrinks your data just enough so it completely fits onto a single piece of paper. No arbitrary cutoffs. This is absolutely crucial for high-level reports that people need to digest in a single glance.
Section 5. Adding headers and footers, the professional polish.
Now, we're pivoting from simply cramming data onto paper to actually making it look presentation ready. To give your spreadsheet that really polished, professional vibe, head over to the Insert menu and click Header and Footer. This is where you seamlessly inject all that vital professional info. You can easily drop in your company name to brand it. You can add the date, which is so crucial for version control, especially on financial sheets. And of course, you can slap on some page numbers, which is a game changer for keeping everyone on track if your report actually does span multiple pages. It's the difference between a messy draft and a boardroom-ready document.
Section 6. Summary of Excel Basics, the payoff. All right, let's take a quick look at our final recap. This is the payoff, where we officially graduate from messy printouts to total control. Think about the checklist we just mastered together. First, we previewed the damage with Ctrl-P. Then, we wrangled the exact data we wanted using print area. Next, we targeted and aligned it by flipping between portrait and landscape orientation. We squeezed everything perfectly onto the page using margins and that amazing scaling tool. And finally, we added that pro polish with headers and footers. It is kind of crazy how simple this all is once you break it down, right?
And that brings us to the end of our source material, which really sums it up perfectly. Congratulations, you completed Module 1 Excel Basics. You've scored a real victory here today. You took something that literally frustrates millions of people every single day and turned it into an organized, stress-free workflow. You're completely in control now, from your screen right down to the printed page. So I'll leave you with this final thought. Now that you've systematically crushed the headache,
thanks for listening, dropping by, getting high